Do we need to preface this with anything?
I guess we'll just very quickly give what we think about Snatcher.
Sure.
I think it's a game. I've played the game the whole way through. I think that it's pretty good at setting up like mood and character, but it falls flat a bit on the story.
I have not played the game. I've seen 2 different playthroughs of it though, so that's where my love from it comes from.
I think it gives you enough like credit. I think there's some things in the game that usually playthroughs won't show you, like you can just wander around the city for hours and still not see all the random events that are in it.
I don't know. I don't have it off the top of my head. One of the playthroughs actually does sit through and watches some of them. I'm sure it's not all of them, but yeah, they do show how much there is in that game.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. And I think we can both agree that the third act really kind of falls flat on its face, but...
Absolutely. If you're going to play any version of the game, I'd recommend playing one of the versions that does not actually have the third act in it.
Or just turn it off after Act 2.
Yeah, it's better to end the game with a cliffhanger than it is to get to that third terrible act.
But other than that, no, it's a pretty great universe and story.
Okay.
My voice. So, yeah. I don't have a plan, if you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then let's just get going then.
Sure. I can't remember. Does Pleasure of Tension come up at all in this series?
I think it does for like the briefest of moments.
Yeah, I think so.
Or maybe it's the investigation music. Music. I can't remember. I will say this is no Neo Kobe Blues.
No. Oh yeah, I remember what they did. It's a Pleasure of Tension remix.
That's a shame.
Yeah. How would you say that the music in this stacks up against Snatcher?
It doesn't.
I really like the soundtrack in Snatcher.
Yeah, I was gonna say it may be just like nostalgia glasses or what have you, but I really do think the soundtrack to Snatcher is amazing, and then this is just it's doing its own thing. Thankfully, it's not trying to just crib directly off of it, but at the same time, it's just not as engaging.
I don't think it conveys the same theme.
Yeah, there's no like underlying tension or nothing.
Yeah, I think this is more Ghost in the Shell.
I can totally see that, yeah.
Rather than some things that's supposed to be like Cyberpunk City.
Mm-hmm.
Like Snatcher. Because Snatcher has interesting moments, but it's not outright meant to be exciting, I mean. Like, it's not supposed to be an adrenaline thrill ride.
Right.
Alice, 私だ。連絡をくれないか。少しでいいから君と話がしたい。
Something I'd like to point out with the video that unfortunately won't really come through with the audio, just in the very, very off chance that somebody deaf is listening to this, I don't know how, is that the closed captioning does have male voice and female voice, and also voicemail.
Yeah, I turned that off because it was actually cutting into the text that's on the screen.
Yeah, there's this really weird black bar that comes down. I'm not sure what it really is. It just goes in the middle of the words.
I think it's them pressing enter twice to like bring it up from the bottom of the screen so it's above the text.
Ah, gotcha.
So this is a prequel to Snatcher.
Yes.
How long before does it take?
4 years.
Do you remember?
Yeah, 4 years. I'm not sure what's all with this existential questions. Because there's not really any depression in the Neo Kobe City. It's actually a pretty nice place. Like, this is well after the apocalypse.
I was going to say, the Snatcher menace hasn't even cropped up yet.
Yeah. You know what I really hate is very awkward foreshadowing.
What, you mean like how he's foreshadowing what the forecast for 2043 is going to be?
I think that's forecasting.
What, did she take off in a rocket and that's why she disappeared?
Yeah, oh, right. Remember, that's the hover cars that they have.
Oh, right.
The tricycle, it was landing. I remember that because it threw me the first time I heard it.
Wow, that is classic Kojima.
Speaking of Kojima, that's his voice, the high-pitched one.
That's what he sounds like in real life?
Well, fortunately, no.
Okay.
And the SDATCHER theme music's playing in the background for some reason.
If we're calling out voice actors, the voice actor for Jean-Jack is the Japanese voice actor for Snake.
Oh yeah, I remember you mentioning that before. What a great cop.
Fusion Chinese?
Well, that was an exciting intro. I hope you all enjoyed it. A lot got answered there. You know, I could really do with a moment of silence and then hearing a door open. I don't necessarily need to go through the whole process.
No, you have to hear the entire flight over.
You remember how film directors pointed out that it's really stupid to show a car pulling into a parking lot?
Right, because the audience figures that it had to do that anyways.
Exactly! I'm not just going to assume that he teleported into the... into this place there. Wait a minute, didn't Lucifer... Hang on, how does he know a tune from the 2000s when Lucifer Alpha came out in, what, 1991?
Yeah, something around there. 91, 95, something like that.
Yeah, before 2000 anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, only a third of Eurasia, or whatever, was wiped out, so they still had the other side of the Earth.
It was 50% of the entire world's population, though, they said.
Man, that was packed.
It also sounded like there was a bar fight when he walked in here. How rich is Jack that he can afford to buy crab fried rice on a policeman's salary after the apocalypse? I also want to know how he has Little John.
Yeah, he's not Butter Junker yet, is he?
No.
Especially since the Snatcher Menace isn't around, there's no Junker.
Yeah. Weren't the little robots created specifically for Junkers?
Yep. Oh, they don't even let the robots into the bar? That sucks.
When I first heard this, I actually thought he was sitting right next to him.
Wait, what's Lisa Nielsen doing in this?
Well, she used to be a prostitute pimp, I guess. Because, you know, that really enriches the backstory.
I don't think I'm going to be able to play Snatcher the same way again.
It's things like this that kind of... What's the word I'm looking for?
Kill it?
Poison memories?
Sure.
What else is Warsaw named for? Isn't it a name for a place?
Warsaw, Poland?
Oh, okay, that's what I'm
where the
thinking of.
Warsaw Pact was made?
Mm-hmm. No, it's familiar. A dealer?
Get it? Russia?
Oh, you know what? You're probably right.
Talk about foreshadowing, bro.
Wow, that's... Wow. I didn't even realize. Is he shaking the table?
I have the feeling he's either tapping his foot very rapidly or like his hands are shaking because he's afraid.
Is he made out of wood?
Even more foreshadowing.
Wow. I didn't even realize that, but yeah.
I'm sure it's just the choice of words the translator made. I really hope it's not foreshadowing.
Hang on a minute. So Snatchers can't eat or drink, right? I just want to make that clear. I just was realizing a really easy way to detect them.
I honestly don't know. I thought they could, just for the purposes of infiltration, but I can't say yes, no.
I'm gonna assume they have some sort of holding stomach.
Now we have to listen to him go to the bathroom. God.
Why do you need a secret knock for the toilet stall? Okay, hang on. He's in his 50s wearing a tailored suit. That describes nobody else in the city, I'm sure.
He's got that bandage on his hand. That's the identifier.
Yeah. You might remove... because nobody else has a bandage on their hand. You might remove the suit, but he'll never remove that bandage. Knowing anime, that probably is what's going to happen.
It's going to be like Ernest Evans. He's just going to have the bandage on his streak the whole time.
Yep. And it's just going to grow and shrink in size.
Yeah.
There's what he sounds like. You don't have to knock to tell us you're the man in the restroom.
Maybe that was like Morse code for 51.
Ah, gotcha. Planned, really?
When did this come out again?
2011.
Okay.
Well after Phantom Pain was in development, so any sort of doubts, like any sort of slips, I think we can blame on that.
Yay!
Let's move on to Act 2.
Yep. Oh yeah, we're gonna get Steve-O in this one. Yes.
Oh yeah, that character that I forget what happens to. I can't remember if he gets killed or not.
I think he runs away because he's a coward.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. See, I don't remember either.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
I do remember that nothing happens until like 4.
This is very true.
So out of curiosity, which do you rather prefer? Would it have been better for these guys to release one big video without all these intros and exits? Or do you prefer the smaller format?
I think I would have preferred a larger format, but that may be me being biased because I prefer like audiobooks and stuff that way. This originally came out on a podcast, so I don't think they could have done it in the podcast unless they released this as a special one-off podcast type deal.
I'm sure they probably could have done that with a CD.
That's true.
People would buy it.
I think like only 1 or 2 of those lines are important. I don't understand how positively PG is setting up anything.
I don't want him to suffer, I'll see what I can do, but don't hold your breath, I think are the only important lines.
I think that was like Hideo Kojima having a creator breakdown.
I think that was just filler for the rest of the intro song. We want to use all of it.
SDATCHER Act 2.
Did we ever figure out what the D instead of the N for Snatcher was supposed to mean?
No, I have no clue. I was going to ask you that. I think it's because it's supposed to be Suda, so STATCHER.
Oh.
But I don't know.
Why isn't it SDATCHER then? That would be easier to pronounce too. Wait, how does he have his blaster if he's not part of Junker yet?
Yeah. Yeah, because...
Wasn't it specifically made for killing them?
Yeah, because Benson gave it to him and said this isn't anything like the ray gun the army uses.
安心しろ。
Yeah.
元同僚を守るのも俺の仕事だ。
So anyway, there we got an introduction to Rug Hunt, and also we learned that John Jock Gibson's a science cop.
Science cop.
Yep, a cop for science.
Is there like a religious cop or something that I'm missing?
Maybe. That's where they put all the cops who are into Scientology.
何があったクリス。ラグハントと根深い事件なのか。
I don't think they ever fully explain what Rug Hunt is. Aside from like a top secret organization that, or top secret group that everyone knows about.
It's so Black Ops they can't even tell you it in fiction.
Yeah, Rug Hunt's a highly covert unit. It's so covert, nobody knows what any of its members look like. Wait, same fingerprints?
They probably meant like the same style.
Yeah, I'm just curious. It's a covert unit, but they don't wear gloves?
Confidentiality agreement for Black Ops, really?
Yes.
Alright, we're giving you an NDA to sign.
Don't they not record what happens in Black Ops, though? Like, aren't they not supposed to?
I believe so.
積み荷の検査で問題があったと。実際は違うんだ。積み荷が消えた。消えた？そう。あの男と一緒に。
How do you know? I'm just gonna spoil it. There's no way he should know that the cargo vanished.
Alright, they arrived in the vehicle.
Steve.
There's a horn in the background, so it has to be at a dockyard. What could they get from Mexico?
Food, maybe?
Steve-o! Oh, there we go. There's the remix.
There it is.
Wait a minute, the ship's unregistered, but we'll learn later that it was registered.
This ship's unregistered, but they have a name for it?
Yeah. It doesn't exist, aside from the name that we know.
Am I right, guys?
Why don't you call one of them over?
I like the musical sting for something we can't see.
Yes. Oh no, the ship's covered in black because, you know, there's no ships that have ever been painted black in the history of anything. What? They didn't come here to deliver my shipment to me, so I'm gonna kill them all?
Everyone must pay.
More blood. So where's dock security or one of the administrators? Managers? Any of the workers?
I like how there's noises like a camera phone in the background. But remember how Snatcher is kind of cute in that they had Metal Gear Mark II with the giant-ass CRT TV?
Yeah.
And the old-ass computer?
Yep. No, we're gonna modernize everything, even though they really shouldn't have that kind of technology.
Yeah.
I like how they're using iPhones and what it sounds like in the far future.
Yep.
Don't worry, guys. Apple products is still doing pretty well. I should hope not. How? How?
I'm so lost right now.
They found the ghost chip and walked on it to find out what's going on after it automatically opened up for them. They didn't do anything to open it up. That's all that happened. Who started the rule that was haunted? It just arrived.
Yeah.
What are they stepping in?
I guess we'll find out.
You didn't... Okay, dead bodies. You can tell because there's flies, and it's always like that in horror. You couldn't smell that? Seriously?
I don't know, I can't see anything. You have to tell me.
The people who write this are the kind of people who have never been around any dead thing ever. Blood's a pretty distinctive smell. Okay, so assuming that there's the Snatchers...
Was that gunfire in the background?
Yeah, I can hear laser fire, and I can also hear her screaming and dying.
So they couldn't kill all the people on board until they got to the dockyard where they could be exposed?
I guess. They're on a boat. They would have months. Okay, so Steve-O does...
I am running over here now.
Wow, really, guys? Steve-O ran away outside the west door.
I am now over here, Jean-Jacques, and I am leaving the ship.
Steve-O is approximately 5 miles away. We are catching up to him.
Alright, quick recap for this video. All we learned was that Chris saw something.
A ship with a bunch of dead crew came in.
Which was the ghost ship that was unregistered, but they had a name.
People were supposed to pick up the cargo on it. Supposedly there was cargo on it, but it's vanished in between the time that Christian was on the ship and when he's talking to Jean-Jacques a week later.
They went inside it, there were dead bodies, and there's a guy still killing people in it. Well, it can only get better in Act 3. Alright, I got Act 3 up and loaded.
Yeah, I was reading the comments. They actually changed the subtitles, which don't really match what the Japanese actors say. The Japanese actors claimed that the Snatchers had red eyes.
That was changed for the American release just so they could get around the Terminator copyright law.
Gotcha.
Or, not that Terminator has a copyright on the eyes, but to make it less obvious that it was a Terminator-esque ripoff.
Yeah.
They were trying to make it more Lords of the Fallen than Demon Souls.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine Phil playing Snatcher and claiming that it's just a ripoff of the Terminator franchise?
Oh my god. He wouldn't be able to navigate the menus.
Yeah. He would make that complaint, though. Like, Snatcher has just as much in common with Terminator and Blade Runner as Lords of the Fallen does with Dark Souls. Okay, let's go. Act 3, things start to happen here.
Right, it only took 3 acts.
What sucks is the further we go along, the more we have to pay attention.
Right.
I'm so worried that I'll miss something.
You're so worried you're going to miss something. That's why they have all this pre-stream.
Oh yeah, this recap.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, I've been watching this at 144p because it really doesn't matter.
You're missing out on all the graphics.
Oh no. I am going to download it in 1080 though. Hang on a minute, Steve-O ran all the way to the right and went through a door, but then he's back near Jean. And then he's going to run from all the way to the right, all the way to the left, and out a different door.
Why is it taking the Snatcher so long to kill people? It doesn't, like, have to preserve them or anything. Just kill them, hide the body.
Why didn't they do what they normally do, which is infiltrate and then Couldn't they have killed the crew and posed as them as they were coming in on the ship and be
Yeah.
like, oh, we lost all our cargo?
Like, they would have come in a pod or something like that, already with their artificial skin on them, looking like the crew that they need to look like.
Yeah.
Kill them, hide the bodies, and everything's fine here, guys, and walk off.
You know what? They don't even need to kill any crew. They could have just registered the Snatchers as is, as crew members from Russia.
Mm.
Wait, he wasn't in the last video. What was he in the recap?
That was the last 2 seconds of the video that got cut off.
Oh. Didn't they have the outro music, though, playing over?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. That was the stinger, and we missed it somehow.
Oh, they cut off the intro. I guess Steve-O's dead?
Finally.
Wait, Act 3? Oh, right. It's each video. No, he did get away. Who got shot?
Oh, don't worry, they'll repeat Rug Hunt like 15 more times.
Yes.
I heard you work at Rug Hunt.
Yes. Rug Hunt's the only person who double taps bodies. Here's my credential. I mean, I don't have any, sorry. We're so secret, we don't even need them.
Well, do we at least have a secret handshake? No.
We've got a sweet bathroom stall knock. You're there to pick up cargo.
No, I'm not a bad guy.
That's Christian talking, I thought.
I thought that was the hitherunto unnamed Robin Goodman.
Oh. No, that was Christian.
Oh.
Drawn here by some mysterious power. It was in this letter telling me to pick up the cargo that arrived. Yeah, Robin's voice is deeper.
There we go.
Care to explain why? Then how do you know about the double tap?
I take lives, but I don't double tap like that, bro.
I need to limit unnecessary casualties, which is why my task was to murder everyone on board.
No, that's why he asked.
It's wrapped up in this bag.
Oh, it's the prequel to Deep Fear.
Ah. Which is better?
Oh, Deep Fear by far. At least I knew what was going on there.
I'm gonna spoil this. He actually doesn't spare him, so I don't understand why he's saying you should relish the fact that you've been spared. You do not apprehend. I'm gonna assume that's a translator's mistake. You do not apprehend it.
You probably want to have your gun trained on him by this point.
Yes. Wait, you're civil servants? You're not government agents or anything? Who do you work for?
Rug Hunt.
Are they just a group of people doing whatever they want?
Yeah, they get away with it by just saying they work for Rug Hunt, and since they're so secretive, nobody questions it.
I thought that they were a government agency, but they're not. Civil servants, I can't believe that. Wow. Oh, time to show him the cargo. It's so good that he spared his life. Did they have butterfly snatchers?
I was gonna say, it sounded like the chronosphere just activated.
I don't remember the Snatcher's eyes having trails.
Maybe they're like, he was so fearful that when they looked around, the LED trails kind of left it in his eyes.
The leeches crawl through my brain.
Rug Hunt not have a therapist or something for this?
I guess not. You know, I've died in plenty of my dreams. It's honestly not that bad.
Mind if I try and get a little sleep? I need to die again.
Yeah. Yes. He wakes up. What the hell? I just spawned. Where is John in relation to him?
I think he might be in the tricycle.
Oh, probably. How many humans are still left in Russia? Like the capital, anyway.
I thought Moscow was like ground zero.
That's what I thought too.
Because wasn't that where Jamie and Gillian worked on the Snatcher project?
Yeah.
Maybe
it's also where Modnar first developed all of his stuff.
Maybe they moved back after Lucifer Alpha was eliminated.
Maybe. It's so secret we can just tell everyone about it.
Rug Hunt's gonna be the Deus Ex Machina of this, isn't it?
Let's hope so.
Or the Greek choir.
We're a bunch of civil servants, Gibson.
We don't have to answer to the government or anything, right? Nah.
Not even to the science cops, which you are.
Jean-Jacques Gibson, Otsuka Akio.
Little John, Kojima Hideo.
Act 4.
Christian Gainsbourg, Otsuka Hochu.
Steve, Yanagihara Tetsuya.
Robin Goodman.
I'm trying to remember when the first Snatcher actually shows up. Is it 4 or 5?
Well, technically, we did see the original. We did see the Snatcher first appear in Act 1.
I guess that's true. It's just we don't know who he is yet.
What you mean the actual Snatcher fight, I believe, is at the end of Act 4, start of Act 5, because that's when Little John beats the head.
I think you're right. And then episode 6 is when it gets really stupid.
I'm a Bioroid.
Oh, hey, look at the related videos. Somebody decided, I guess, to add portraits to the talking animations.
Oh, really? I've been watching it right off of STATCHER.net, so I haven't seen any related videos.
They did that for the French version only.
Ah, damn Frenchies.
Putting in all that extra effort.
You're French-Canadian, can't you read it?
I'm not French-Canadian, I'm just Canadian. I can, my French is pretty limited.
Sifu Play, could you please listen to it? Alright.
You know what? I actually do want to listen to the end of Act 5 in French. Act 3... Oh, wait a minute. No, that's the French one led me to the Japanese one. Oh, they only went up to number 3.
And then he was like, "This is too stupid, even for me."
Oh, it's only French subtitles. Never mind.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, that sucks. You know, I will say, as a whole, I think that the audio engineering is fairly well done.
I can agree with that, especially since they had it so if Steve-O was running to the left, you heard him like going from your right to your left.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of things I'm pretty impressed with some audio dramas. Like, there's one audio drama I remember hearing where the characters were in kind of a steampunkish setting, and there was an intense conversation going on between two characters. And as the conversation went on and got more and more intense, the background noise started fading out because the people who were working in the background started listening to them and stopped doing their work. And then it has this one great moment where the tension's relieved, where one of them just turns and just screams out, "Would you all get back to work?"
Nice.
And then like all that noise just resumes. Those moments are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's be reminded of that great dialogue of the leeches crawling around in his brain.
This would make more sense if it was Chris. All this was taking place in Chris's head.
You know what? You're right.
Oh, and then hard transition to that.
That's a weird phone call message to receive.
Hey, could you like not talk in a crowded room, please? Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Is this a secure line? No, it's a public phone.
I'll be the guy in the rug hunt windbreaker.
Yeah. If you peer out the window and see me waving at you, that's not creepy, right? It's smut.
It was less rude to just say, "Put Gibson on the line, rug hunt."
It's much ruder to pull him away from his table where he's eating some very nice crab fried rice and put him on the phone instead of just joining him at the table. Why did you grab your gun? Actually, how many guns did he grab? Come to think of it.
Just in case he runs into any more civil servants.
I think Jean-Jacques Gibson's a descendant of Jack Slate. He just hates any civil servants. Oh no, he's got a bad acne problem.
Yeah, it would seem legit. It's not like he's gonna have a forged ID. If he snatched him properly, it'd be the same one.
You don't trust me, a civil servant?
Spoiler alert, this guy is snatched.
Yeah. You're not gonna question how Gibson knows about Relic Hunt? He gets killed. Well, snatch him. Oh, sorry, I mean...
Just like my wife! She disappeared too.
You know, as well as not needing to hear the car drive in, I don't need to hear them walk around. You don't work for the state either, you're a civil servant.
Well, we're not a state secret either, we're just rug hunt. We're a bunch of guys that got together and formed a club.
Yeah, they're a civil servant only. Why are you pulling your gun out? Spoilers, this guy's actually snatched, so he shouldn't have any animal instincts. By killing everybody and confronting them directly.
I get that they're trying to make it sound like he's moving around more, but without the visual of it, it just sounds like he's kicking into a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I was saying that too. I don't need the tricycle landing, and I also don't need the sound of them walking around everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Or like him jumping up on the railing.
Yeah, it adds nothing. Maybe this was originally meant to be an anime or something, and then they just decided to turn it into a podcast?
Yeah, I can see that. They could just take the recordings and then, oh, here, throw some sound effects in the background.
Yep. Perfect, he just sold Christian out.
Yes. What a great cop.
Mm-hmm. He's not even going to radio this in. Wait a minute, isn't Little John still locked in the car?
Yes, but he still has a connection to Jean-Jacques.
Okay. What's the rage on Little John?
I don't know, because Metal Gear and Little John were able to transmit back to Junker HQ wherever they were, so I would imagine they could do the same between their partners.
Well, at least now we know that the ship's from Russia, a private organization inside of Russia, to be specific. Alright, bioroids. That completely ruins the concept of nobody knowing what the Snatchers were.
Alright, so we're introducing completely superfluous characters to Snatcher lore.
Why do you reveal stuff like that this early?
Gonna admit that they just found Dr. Modnar's old papers.
But they didn't need to reveal the existence of bioroids so soon.
The existence of the paper was never made public, yet we found out about it.
Hang on a minute. How did they only discover Snatchers later than this, if the papers for bioroids were revealed much earlier?
論文が14年前にブラックマーケットに出まロシアの企業が買い付けたという噂がありました。
Snatchers own a private corporation? Really?
Why would the Snatchers allow the paper to get out in the first place?
So that they could buy it as a public corporation, so they could build themselves.
Couldn't they just snatch the guys that bought it and then they or had it and they wouldn't have to buy it?
You would think. So over 200 kidnapped people. I would guess that means crime was on a rise.
And if they're doing their jobs properly, they shouldn't have been reported missing at all.
Why are they so surprised at bioroids emerging, though, if a paper talking about them existed for this long?
Good point.
You just said it was published.
行方不明319人を惨殺した殺人鬼逮捕のニュースが一面だったんです。
Care to explain how he did that? That's one person every other day, almost. How do you know? How does that work in any way, shape, or form?
Why would they need living subjects for the bioroids?
Why would they do that in the first place?
All the bioroids needed to do at physical level was to have their bodies reshaped by the plates in their head and their arm pistons and all that jazz. They had artificial skin. They didn't have human stuff.
Yeah, they wouldn't need to kidnap and kill people to advance the bioroid.
Unbelievable.
Wasn't it only one dude who was doing this originally, too? Why is a corporation behind it now?
Yeah, snatching 319 people in Russia, but the rest of the world's just going to cover it up for peace.
目薬持ってないか。目薬ですか？去年からスノースギの花粉に敏感になって。ダメだ、目がチカチカする。辛そうですね。ちょっと待ってください。確かこの辺に。
All right, murder.
He double tapped him in each eye.
I think he did. I think he triple tapped him.
悪いな。
That was just an outright murder.
Man, my contacts are irritating me. Do you have any solution? Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. I still don't get why he did that. According to Wikipedia, he did that so he wouldn't have to sell Christian out.
So why did he sell him out in the first place? Just to get that bit of information?
I guess. Wait, no, Little John's right next to him because that's no longer coming through a radio. Also, wouldn't Snatchers be really easy to detect if they let out a lot of electricity?
I'm hoping that if you're thinking about it in your mind, it jump cut to where Little John's in the car where the alarms are going off, and then it jumps cuts back to Gibson.
Okay, gotcha. Why would you also reveal yourself right off the bat? Why wouldn't you just hide after you've been shot?
Yeah.
Like play dead, catch him off balance.
Feign death, and then as he walks away, get up and walk away.
Exactly. Don't get up and monologue.
Excuse me, I don't want to see you rub out anything right now, please.
I don't want to hear you do it either. I'm pretty sure the Snatchers didn't act like that at all.
Yeah, remember when Shinshuo was caught as being a Snatcher? And he made grand speeches like that?
Where Chinshuo said, "Excuse me while I rub out something."
Oh, not in the front seat of the taxi, too.
Weren't they supposed to be cold and calculating?
Yes. And they were supposed
Unfeeling?
to... And it's... Yeah.
No emotions.
And it was supposed to be that they were secretive and quiet, and they wouldn't draw attention to themselves in any way.
Mm-hmm. Skype just really doesn't like SDATCHER.
I don't blame it.
I don't either. Just gonna get that out of the way. Oh, I coughed. I'm not a Snatcher. That's how
Okay,
you can
good. I was hoping you weren't allergic to Snow 9.
tell. You know, that would have actually been kind of a cool trick, is if they did give Snatchers kind of human habits.
Oh, yeah, no, they're going to explain that later on, remember? How a Snatcher can never have human habits? Yeah!
I forgot about it. You're right. 40 years ago, we learned the concepts of bioroids, and then we forgot all about it, I guess. And the beast, aka the ship, is a bioroid. No, you moron.
And the ship's number was 666, too!
I wouldn't put it past this. It was transporting 666 bioroids. No, something
Oh, good, yeah.
Something I'd like to... Oh, yeah, that.
Jesus Christ.
Why? Oh no, he got shot in his sanity circuit. No, you didn't.
If you shot it and it didn't work, wouldn't you just focus on evasion?
Yeah.
And then Little John could scan it?
Yeah, he also didn't shoot him when he learned that it was a robot. By the way, if Little John can just scan them to learn all the weaknesses, why couldn't Metal do that?
Couldn't tell you. Well, I guess they figured out their weakness already at that point, was just the head.
Yeah, but they learned that through Jean-Jacques, don't they?
I'm gonna say no, because in Junker headquarters there's the training center where you could practice your gun shooting abilities, and, you know, you had to shoot the heads.
Okay. I'm gonna have to double check and make sure they didn't learn that from destroyed Snatchers.
That sounds perfectly fine to me. Did you fire a rocket at him?
He fired his laser cannon in his mouth. I'm pretty sure his laser cannon doesn't do that. Organic? Why are they organic?
Everything about the Snatcher was artificial.
And was it just me, or did I just hear a steam sound coming from the radio drama?
That's Little John's OS in the future of Steam OS.
Ah, gotcha.
Made kind of a plopping noise for something robotic.
Yeah, I was about to say, did he have an actual brain?
Oh, you shot my gum!
Because the rest of his CPUs were organic. So they're not actually robots, they're cyborgs now. Wait, is he not dying? How can you feel? How can you feel? Oh no, that's
Major!
For
I'm burning up!
Such a lust for revenge!
Such a lust for snatching who?
Who's snatching? Who?
Good old Phantom Pain.
Yeah. Just chew that scenery, Skullface.
That was established in the first video.
Yeah. Wait, did they just get together?
I guess so, if he's gonna process it.
ジョン、こいつがバイオロイドなのか。
No,
What
a
do you
regular human being
think?
can get up.
Turns out it actually was a civil servant. That's just what they're That's just what they're like.
Damn, I can't wait for the future when we can all shoot energy blasts out of our mouth.
Yeah.
That was one of the side effects of Lucifer Alpha, it was a mutation.
Yes. Do you think that was a Bioroid? Nah, that was just Janice. The diner got a lot more somber.
Well, somebody just put some quarters in the jukebox.
Yeah, I can't think of a single Chinese place around here that's, or even Vietnamese that plays classical music.
ありがと
I like how he just killed a man, like
う。
twice,
一番好きなもの
Yeah.
だ。
and he's just like, whatever. Coffee, please.
Time to go back and eat my crab fried rice.
ありがとう。
He already ordered!
悪いが、今日は食欲が湧かない。
Didn't he already order?
Yes, I believe so.
ええ、まだ寝かせてやりたい。
He's snatching some Z's. I mean, catching some Z's.
He's been snatching some Z's and replacing them with electric sheep.
He was asleep the entire gunfight?
I guess so. How far away was that gunfight?
He didn't hear him firing his blaster, the head cannon, or him burning up?
君がここに来たのは
Yeah, the laser that was apparently also a missile?
Yeah.
だけじゃない。俺に何かを伝えようとしている。違うか。
No, Jack, there's not.
ってくれ。何か深読みしてないか？
Why don't you just tell him no?
俺の目を見て言え。本当に何もないか。誓えるか。
いや、
There we go.
誓えない。
What? Doesn't he not tell him anything until the phone call?
隠せない。このことは。
I'm just waiting for it.
正直に言ってくれ。何があった？
The diner got real quiet. Is everyone else just listening in?
ジャック。この件にはラグハントだけじゃなく。
It goes all the way to people who have actual power.
アリスが。
ああ、確かだ。不審船の記録を洗ったら、荷主の場所にアリスの名前が。
Oh, that's smart. Use a disappeared woman's name.
ジャック。
Then why did they say that that ship doesn't exist if it's registered in her name and was due to arrive? It's a ghost ship arriving on schedule.
出てね。
ああ。
クリスティアンです。え？
Oh, okay.
Is the caller watching them when they're doing this? Thank you?
そうです。今目の前にいます。
Okay.
一緒です。
Yeah, the pitch perfect timing.
わかりました。
Mm-hmm.
ジャック。アリスからだ。
アリス。アリス。連絡をくれない少しでいいから。
Yes, we. That's not even important from the first episode.
私だ。
Is that really how you would answer it if your wife has been missing for how long?
Yeah, I would maybe answer it with, Alice, where are you? Are you okay? You know, that kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Show you care?
仕事に追われている。
A science cop.
すまない。
I guess all police officers are just called science cops.
Well, it's the future.
君を守れなかった。
Protect her from what? Why?
Sounds like something she'd write in like on my journal or something.
Yes.
アリス。
She just put that up on the B forum on 4chan.
Now's not the time to get philosophical, Alice.
But then you realize that he was actually happy with his job, and that made you really depressed. I'm not kidding, that was her motivation that she just said.
アリス、不審船を知っているか？ロシアからの積み荷だ。
Oh, sure. There's only one ship from Russia in the past 4 years. I know about it.
Past 40.
Mm.
Now, I'm gonna point out that there's a lot of really high buildings in Neo Kobe.
Oh, yeah.
Although the seagulls kind of give it away, I guess.
Junker HQ loomed over everything.
Yeah. Which is really funny considering the amount of people that worked there. Oh man, Alice just told him something. Did he break the table in half?
Sounds like it.
I'm gonna put up the first time I heard that. The second time, though, it's still pretty good.
Snatchers can never have human emotions, but yet here he is foot tapping and shit.
And in fear, panicking, worry. Doesn't it prove that they have their own sentience though and feelings and stuff? If he felt this way before he realized he was a bioroid?
Yeah, and the fact that he can communicate and have a conversation and even counteract some arguments that Jean-Jacques will be throwing around proves it also.
Yeah, like complex emotions.
Sentience. Yeah. Preservation of life, that kind of jazz.
Now on to the next episode, the awesome card game.
Oh, I forget. Yeah, it was a stupid card game.
Let's go for it.
Alright.
2 away. This stuff really does breeze by after that Lords of the Fallen thing.
Yes, it does.
I'm so happy we did that first. Can you imagine if we put that off to the end?
No, I'd shoot myself.
That's just so we're going from something much worse to, or something bad to something much worse. I wonder what type of recap we're going to get now. Oh, none.
No, we're going to get the highlight from the last episode.
What was the point of Alice calling Jack?
Good call.
She said nothing.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd let you know.
All it was just to activate him into a bioroid mode, and that was it.
But what could she possibly accomplish by doing that?
Progressing the story.
Nothing comes of this.
Nothing comes of it.
If the Snatchers are meant to be secret and hide away, and then he's just gonna come right out and tell you, oh, I'm a bioroid. I guess he just crushed the tape.
Act 6.
Wait a minute, how did they play cards when he broke the table in half?
There's gotta be more tables. They just shifted all their meals over. Waitress will be at this table instead, thanks.
Yeah. By the way, how did he become one with what was on that ship? What? How? That's like saying the human is our god.
Why are they worshipping gods?
I don't get why they're... Of all people, I don't get why they're worshipping Alice. They used to worship Mondnar, but that's because he was their literal creator?
Yeah.
And it made sense for him to program that in. Did he tear his eyes out? Because he shouldn't be able to tell if that's...
Good call.
Like, their outside skin isn't something that can just become transparent or anything.
Oh no.
Also, how does Chris live on in this Snatcher?
His persona is deep in his heart. I guess he's gonna have to pursue his true self.
He pulls out a pistol and shoots himself in the head to use his spells. You can't.
Does it have to?
Yeah, why? Doesn't you just said you merged with Chris? How? And why? The whole point of Monarch creating these was because he hated people.
Yeah, the whole point was for them to just infiltrate, like, the presidential leaders and stuff and control the populace that way.
Yeah, Monarch hated human nature, so why would he program them to keep it?
First, we gotta rebuild this table.
Yes. Oh, come on!
Now we have to hear a whole game of Texas Hold'em.
Mm-hmm. And now I'm going to explain to you the exact rules of poker.
It's gonna be like that scene from Casino Royale.
21ブラックジャック
やっぱり強いなジャックはいつも負けっぱなしだ
Oh, look, he has
もう
memories.
いいだろうあんたが強いことは
How's he better than him at blackjack? It just sounds like he got a really lucky hand.
Well, we're going to learn that Jean-Jacques was a really shitty friend, so he always cheated at blackjack. And I'm not kidding, he always cheated at blackjack.
するわけがないクリスお前は勝負ごとにはまっすぐ
Just like how we played
ど
this
んな手
time.
抜きも無気力も嫌っていた
Couldn't stand apathy?
やはり
You played a straight game then, you play a straight game now. That's how I know Chris was dead.
さっきのブラックジャックイカ様をした、クリスはイカ様を必ず見抜くだが人間じゃなきゃ見抜けない
No.
Excuse me?
何かわかるか
わからない
感情の揺らぎは人間である証拠だ機械の体では無理だ
You saw him create it earlier.
擬態しているだけの存在だ
それでも俺は生きている生きることに違いがあるのか
Well, to be fair, he is alive, though.
人から生まれた機械には人に近づくことも人を超えることも
You're a man created by man. What's the
思い
difference?
上がりだ
Yeah.
俺にはギブスンはギブスンだでもバイオロイドでもあんたは同じ
I
ギ
can't
ブスン
believe
だ
I'm siding with the Snatcher.
Yeah, right? Like, this isn't doing the job it's supposed to at all.
権利を持つ
Yeah, they're supposed to be, like, horrifying and evil.
Like, if the Snatchers could live peacefully with human beings without killing them, let them all for it. Yeah, be a Snatcher, I
人を
don't
超
care.
える必要があるの
Yeah.
か
共存を拒むのは人間なんだ人は傲慢になり
You know, according to this, that actually is what's happening here. It is the humans who are rejecting it.
そう考え
You didn't tell I'm cheating, so therefore you're not a real person. Can you imagine trying to apply that to regular people?
No.
頭の汁が広がる
Oh no, he's actually having like a nervous breakdown based on something that he was traumatized by.
俺を楽にしてくれ
Doesn't that prove he was alive, though, if he manages to take control?
Yeah, sure does.
Chris was dead, except for that part where he came back and took control of the body.
最後に言い残した
Yeah, shoot me now before it ends.
ジャックバイオロイドも悪くない
It seems like Christian's in perfect control right now. What's the problem in letting him live?
Being a Snatcher wasn't that horrible, but don't let anyone else become a Snatcher.
He just said that. Yeah. I can't believe it.
アリスを殺せるのは
You know what? It was alright. Don't really mind it. You have to kill us all.
そうか
The Snatchers have a little flawed logic, but if you are able to get past that and work with them, I'm sure they'd be decent people.
And if you listen there, they just shook hands. Wow.
Oh wow, you couldn't even kill him properly? Oh there, thank God.
Fox.
潜入
Duh.
終了
On the Twin Snakes, he just starts getting up and trying to choke him.
深く眠れ
Can I point out that I absolutely hated that part in Twin Snakes?
Go.
Like, oh man, dramatic tension. Let's kill it again and again and again. It was cool when he jumped up once. And then, like, the third time he does it, I'm going, come on already.
ジャック目的地は
ネオ神戸ポートタワ
That's
ー
the only tall building in this place.
アリスが
Well, we did hear seagulls. And I guess they only go over the harbor.
If it's
But to be-
if it's a port town, I'm going to imagine that there's a whole stretch of ports.
Well, it's also like a future metropolis kind of place. So there could be a lot of port in this place.
Yep. Oh, I guess they had to take an airplane to get there.
Oh yeah, remember the tricycle?
Oh, now it sounds like an airplane.
I guess they changed the sound effects. Before it sounded kind of like a rocket thruster. Did he jump out of it?
Yeah, it sounded like Batman just landed.
Yes. Wait, did a Snatcher jump out of a tricycle?
Maybe.
Wouldn't that just ruin his disguise? Like, that would tear the skin.
Oh, remember how we were having trouble figuring out who this was originally?
Yeah.
And this is Robin the whole time?
Yes.
Okay.
Robin talking to Alice. Then why did you come here? Many times with your husband. Oh, I see.
My husband loved it here, therefore I couldn't love him anymore. But I came back here.
Yes. A distance that never closed, except when she swam back to us. I still want to know how the Snatchers gain the memories and personalities and everything of the old ones. Unless they are somehow pulling the brains out and putting them in their own heads. Which would explain that plop sound that happened when the first one was shot. I guess we're still on a plane. I don't hear any sort of rockets. Wait, they checked it in through customs?
What are these x-rays of, Snatchers? We've never heard of them, so let them go.
Huh, these are x-rays of bioroids. Let's just log that and let it go through. How is it a ghost ship? It's a ghost ship, but it's registered to somebody, and the cargo it was carrying went through customs, and it was on time because it was scheduled to arrive?
This part written by Hideo Kojima.
Yeah. I think you have too much time on your hands, Jack, to be thinking about this kind of stuff.
You know, coming off of Dead to Rights Retribution, anytime I see the word Jack, I start thinking of Jack Slate, and this is getting really awkward.
Yeah, I really hate pretentious speech like this, because it could apply to anything to try and make it sound smart. I could even put like your name on there instead of Jack, and replace like Riffer with police officer, and just have it leave everything else unchanged.
All right, thrilling conclusion.
Yes. Now I will need to check something real quick on SDATCHER.net because they have all the art that was made for the show.
That's right.
And I want to double check one thing, specifically what time this takes place at. Night. Yep, night.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I also want to Google something while that intro's playing. Little John. I just wanted to look up Little John's abilities real quick.
Alice, there's no Snatcher out there. Turns out she was barking for no reason at all, so I'm ready.
This makes a lot more, well, sort of sense when you're watching it the second time. You understand why everything, like, what's going on. It's just that it still doesn't, it still shouldn't happen that way.
You understand what's going on in SDATCHER. It still doesn't work with SNATCHER.
Yes. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Because nothing matches up. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Double long episode this time.
Yeah, but they're getting right to the meat and potatoes. Oh, never mind.
What's the bioroid incomplete then?
I think they just call that bioroid.
But the Snatcher is also called bioroid. I don't get why, for the population to survive, they must learn to coexist with Snatchers. What will happen if they don't learn to coexist with Snatchers? Oh right, they just kill them all and that's the end of it.
The Snatchers never made themselves public at this point, so like, how are they like, oh, we can't coexist with humans? Like, you never gave us a chance.
Yeah. Now we're in a plane again. Oh, the hover car. Is he flying over a park?
Sounds that way. Now he's waiting for AOL to connect.
He lost his Skype connection to somebody else. What was the point of that audio?
That was necessary.
Yeah. Maybe they just didn't want to have Act 8, that's why there's only... that's why this is doubly long.
Alice はどこだ？
アリスとは誰ですか？さっきから何を言っているのか。
ラグハントには古い友人がいてね。知っているか？ハリー・ベンソン。
Harry Benson was in Rug Hunt?
No, he
エン
wasn't.
ジニアのハリーですか？知っていますよ。
ハリーはお前の葬式に。
To be fair, I think Harry is the only civilian that has an actual job.
He's still talking to Robin, right?
Yeah. Robin was at his own funeral. Oh, he was at his own funeral. I was joking.
Hey, Robin, you're walking around. You're looking pretty good for a dead man.
Why didn't Jean-Jacques say something was strange when he talked to Christian after Christian told him that he meant Robin Goodman? You wouldn't say that that guy was dead?
No, I would like a know-it-all to explain this to me.
Who told you that was their plan? Nobody told you this! He just pulled that out of nowhere. Yeah, just in between episodes out of nowhere.
Oh, we missed 6.5, damn it.
I'm the impatient type. I like to run into warehouses without any backup. That's never gonna bite me, right? Why do you say she's your savior? She doesn't do anything important.
Was she like patient zero? And that's why they're revering her?
I don't know.
Like, and why was she the one snatched?
I don't know. It never... Patient Zero never really comes up in the game.
Was that actually Alice talking instead of like Alice... Or as a... was that actually Alice saying that she left Jean-Jacques? Or was that the Snatcher pretending to be Alice saying this is the reason why I left you?
Oh, she would have been snatched by that point, so that would have been the Snatcher.
You know, so, but I'm saying, is it like... if it was Snatcher Alice saying that, then why did they take Alice? Like, why specifically her?
So that they could ship ships back to Neo Kobe in her name?
Nobody else could do it?
I guess not. And Jean-Jacques just shot Robin Goodman. You probably could have learned a lot more information about him. How?
Off the black market.
What?
A stake through the heart?
But it's night.
What is he firing?
An RPG? At a warehouse?
So, one little nitpick I'd like to point out is that in the original Dracula, he didn't die to sunlight. His powers got weakened in sunlight, but he did not die and turn to dust in sunlight.
Yes, he had to be stabbed through the heart and beheaded, right?
Yep. all the events took place at night. You're Batman.
Do you know what Batman's greatest weakness was?
Having no parents.
Superman.
Oh.
How is the UV light frying them? They don't have any artificial skin on. That.
Yeah.
Oh no, these murderous robots are dying. Like, duh, that was the whole plan.
And then not only that, but like what? Their endoskeleton now is weak to sunlight.
Why?
Robin still survived.
Okay, why would you fire an RPG at the warehouse if you didn't expect to kill the beings in it?
What a great missile that it didn't kill him.
I don't think that he was in the warehouse, Robin. Hang on a minute. How was first contact with the Snatchers, where they found one in a plane, if there's an entire warehouse full of them?
Well, because jet fuel can melt Snatcher beams.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No. No, not you. I meant the show where they went blam, 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 and then just to make sure that the viewer would get it, Robin Goodman has to say, "Oh no, you got me."
This is very much like an old school radio drama.
And I actually like quite a few old radio dramas, just because usually the writing's pretty good in a lot of them. And as far as that goes, I mean the dialogue, where they would have really witty banter.
Yeah.
I could sure use that now.
I guess we're back in the tricycle.
I guess. What?
Alright.
Okay, so this is the plane crash into Neo-Kobe City that they then discovered the Snatcher's body in, right? For their first contact?
So this was the plane crash where they found the one Snatcher body
Yeah.
that started the whole chain of events in Snatcher.
That started the whole thing. But the biggest problem with that is that, or at least the biggest problem with this, is that it shouldn't work like that. Firstly, because it's a really horrible way to get people... It's a really horrible way for the Snatchers to enter the city in the first place. Secondly,
So
there's still a massive warehouse
their
full of
plan
Snatchers.
was to mass invade Neo-Kobe, and if that didn't work, blow up the plane with one Snatcher in it, and then start ruling through fear?
I think their main plan was actually to blow up the plane. I think this was their main plan. Like, I think this actually was Plan A. Plan B might have been using the Snatchers in the warehouse.
Like, what? Why?
Operation Zero Contact.
Why would the Snatchers, if
off.
their mass invasion failed, then all of a sudden just leave evidence that, oh yeah, we actually exist, and here, let's start an age of fear? When they could have just avoided this entirely by just saying, okay, we couldn't mass invade because it got held back somehow. Forget it.
You killed a lot of people, Jack. You're one hell of a cop. Yay. We're gonna have a parade for you, Jack, for all those murders.
Oh good, you're back.
Yeah, I was still talking, though. When I realized you were gone, I still went on.
So here's a question I got for you that I was trying to ask myself.
Yeah?
So the Snatchers' original plan was a mass invasion of Neo-Kobe.
Yeah.
Because they had the warehouse full of Snatchers and all that jazz. But when that failed, then they decided, okay, blow up the plane with one Snatcher on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be left as evidence so that we can start doing this sneaky invasion.
Correct.
Like why, okay, so we can't do a mass invasion. It'll just never catch on. Why not just not leave evidence that there are Snatchers around and continue to start snatching people from the background instead of, I don't know, leaving evidence that we exist and establishing the formation of Junker?
I don't know. I don't know. I think, given how this is written, I almost wonder if this was Plan A, and maybe if the plane didn't get blown up, they would go with the invasion from the warehouse.
I've never met anyone putting their Plan A in Plan B's area.
Yeah. I can hear the other Alice crying out at me. She's still alive somehow. Even though she shouldn't be. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't the original Snatchers more of a virtual intelligence than an artificial one? Like, they didn't really follow their own orders, they followed after what Madnar wanted to do.
I guess.
The only one who was really sentient was... random. How do you retain the capacity?
But you're not human at all.
Yes. You're not human at all, even though you feel the exact same emotions. Oh, there we go.
We're human, but
The
we're
only
not
difference between humans and Snatchers is that we're not humans.
Oh my god.
We're so alike, except for when we're not. So why does Alice want to die so badly if it's not all that bad?
Good point. Don't you think maybe Alice would be fighting from the inside, saying, hey, give humanity a chance, let's work together?
Yeah! Everybody in here is, like, technophobic as hell.
Mm-hmm. Like, if the Snatchers wanted to be sentient creatures and have the same rights as humans, do they really need to, like, snatch skin off of them? Can't they just walk around in public as the robot? Like, yeah, we have the same intelligence as you guys. They have to have the skin to be, like, humanoid?
I'm trying to think of, like, a better way... I'm just imagining Snatchers going through, like, like the gay pride parade. We're here, we're something, get used to it.
Yeah. I don't get it. Like, why can't Snatchers just be robots walking around in public? And, okay, so we have discovered an artificial intelligence that... Like, alright, so maybe I really am overcomplicating this, because, yes, they are programmed to snatch and take over other persons' places.
Oh, hang on a second. He knows where he's gonna die, he even knows when it's going to happen and who's gonna kill him.
Well, yeah, because Snatcher came out in 95. This came out in 2011.
Fair point. If only Gibson could do something to prevent this kind of thing from happening, though. If only Gibson could do the work himself and not waste somebody else's time in trying to do it.
It'll take him through 2 good acts and then 1 kind of iffy act.
Yeah, 2 good acts and 1 terrible one. Oh well.
So he figures out that sunlight's their weakness, even though they didn't have artificial skin. It just blew up the warehouse. Yet he doesn't tell anybody in Junker that, because Gillian has to learn that from his PC.
Correct.
Way to help out everyone, Jean-Jacques. Oh, well, I'll let them figure it out. They're smart.
He doesn't even tell anyone that he came across Snatchers well before Snatchers were first discovered. Why didn't Little John tell him that he was the one? Tell anybody that he was the one who blew up the plane? Isn't that kind of a big thing? There were people on that plane.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this ending.
You're a pimp. Why do you put up with him? What?
If it smells like blood and looks like blood, guess what it is?
Yeah, blood smells pretty distinct. That sound shouldn't really be anything when you really think about it. Why do the Snatchers have to breathe?
Alright, he's a Snatcher, we get it.
I don't think he's put on his artificial skin yet.
Dead people know what's gonna happen. Oh, sorry, that was kind of in poor taste. Sorry, Lisa.
She's just dead tired.
So yeah, that was Freddy. That was Lisa getting snatched, so they can establish that in Snatcher.
Why did the Snatchers quite literally rip them apart in their house, though? Why weren't they supposed to kidnap them and then kill them? I remember that being a major plot point.
Which, if I remember, there's still one last scene.
Should be one more bit, yeah.
Yeah, here it is. Anytime now would be great.
Is this a system reboot? What's going on?
They just throw the bodies in a dumpster.
Oh, come on. Did they literally dump them in the sewer?
寄り道しましょう。人を狩りに出かけましょう。
Why do the Snatchers feel compelled to go out and kill people? That makes no sense. That ruins the whole hide in the shadows bit.
Alright. Excuse me, Snatchers don't wantonly kill people. They killed people who had access to things they needed.
And that's the end of it.
For instance, they killed Chinshuo because he had the hospital. They killed Freddy because he had the illegal black taxis. I'm sorry, I don't think they were illegal, but they had the black taxis. Oh, that's a huge shout out to the first Snatcher. So then that way they could transport the Snatchers wherever they needed them to go, or they could pick up high-class people that the Snatchers would technically want later on. Who else did they snatch? Spoiler alert, they snatched the Chief because he was the head of Junker who was going after the Snatchers, so it's nice to have a guy on the inside. But out of all the people that they snatched that we know so far in the game, they didn't just say, oh, that guy, because it's going to be for the fun of it. I don't understand. It's like they didn't understand the core concepts of Snatcher. That it was an underground, kind of behind-the-scenes invasion of the body snatchers, if you will. Instead, it's more like, I'm trying to think of a movie that acted like that. This feels more like a zombie invasion, if anything.